Bill Jones had been a rounder and had flirted with the town. And when Bill took himself a wife, 'twas hard to settle down. Bill got the fever once a month and reached out for his hat. But wifey dear would catch him and she'd simply murmur, "Scat." Put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Shake up the furnace and turn down the light. If you expect to keep your wife, just knuckle to the simple life. So put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Bill joined Host Company 7 and said, "I have got a plan to fool our wives and sweethearts and get freedom for each man." That night they rang the fire bell. Bill scrambled out of bed, but Whitey grabbed his trousers and to Bill she softly said, "Put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Shake up the furnace and turn down the light." He said, "My dear, the hose machine." She said, "I know the hose you mean. So put on your slippers, you're in for the night." Bill broke away one evening and got full of drink for fare. A copper said, "I'll run you in." But Bill sang, "I don't care." He dragged him to the station house. Bill sobered up and cried, "My place is by my little wife." And then the judge replied, "Put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Shake up the furnace and turn down the light. Get comfortable and learn our ways. It looks like you'll be here 10 days. So put on your slippers, you're in for the night." Bill's wife a pretty parrot had who talked of this and that. A strange man called on Bill one night and in the parlor sat. Bill's wife came in and said to him, "I really am compelled to tell you that Bill's out of town." And then the parrot yelled, "Put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Shake up the furnace and turn down the light." The parrot winked and said, "Cuckoo, they're coming pretty soft for you. So put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Put on your slippers, you're in for the night. Shake up the furnace and turn down the light. If you expect to keep your wife, just knuckle to the simple life. So put on your slippers, you're in for the night."
My gal's high-minded, I'm double-jointed.
Hey, Porter, come over here. Come on, get a move on yourself.
Hey, look here, why are you so speedy? What you want, anyhow?
Why, can't you see that I'm a traveling salesman? And I'm in a hurry to call on my customers. Here, take my valise up to my room and take my automobile back in the barn. You come back in, brush off my clothes and shine my shoes.
Well, come across. Come and see me. Come on and see me.
Oh, you want a tip?
Of course I do.
Well, here's a $50.
Oh, me.
Say, Porter, are there many traveling salesmen coming through this little town lately?
Oh, no, not since I've been around here.
Why not?
I'm a salesman myself.
You a salesman? Oh,
Yeah, but what do you sell?
I sell fireproof safes.
What am the name of your safe?
The Phoenix, the best safe in the world.
What's so cosmopolitan about that safe?
What is great about my safe?
Uh-huh.
A little dog got locked up into my safe. There was a fire that night. After the fire, the safe was open. And out jumped the little dog and barked with joy.
Oh, Lord, but your safe ain't too 7-Eleven with mine.
Why, what's the name of your safe?
The Salamander.
What's wonderful about it?
Well, last year I sold a safe to a firm down here called Doolittle and Steele.
Mm-hmm.
And they put that safe in the 10th story of that building.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little rooster that used to meander around that office.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he perambulated into the safe.
Well.
And that night, the clerk, he locked up the safe and the place, and he went on home.
Mm.
Oh, there was a great ferocious fire broke out there.
Well.
Oh, I tell you, that building burned for 10 days. Oh, I tell you, that safe, it fell down through the 10 floors into the cellar. Oh, it took 90 men 9 days to put that safe on term of firmer.
Well.
Oh, when they got it up yonder, that safe was hot and still a hit. And when they opened the door of that safe, what do you expect?
Oh, I suppose you're going to say when they open the door to that safe, out jumped that little rooster and crowed with joy.
No, sir.
Why?
Right up in the northeast corner of that safe was that poor little rooster froze still. Yes, and that's the best safe in the world. And I'm the best salesman in the world.
Say, have you sold any safes today?
No, there ain't enough money in that for this crew now.
Well, what are you selling now, Mr. Salesman?
I sell music. All the latest songs of the day, except when I'm hustling trumps around here.
Well, I thought anybody who sold songs had to demonstrate their goods.
Oh, I'm a demonstrator.
Why, can you sing?
I sing all the latest songs.
Well, then sing us one of the ladies.
Yellow gal.
Yellow gal, one of the ladies.
I once did love a pretty a gal. Her name was Susie Brown. She came from old Virginia. She's the fairest gal in town. Oh, her eyes so bright, they shine at night when the moon gets am gone down. She used to wake this darky up just before the break of day. And as I held her hand in mine, a tear stood in my eye. She saw that tear and said, I hate to leave my lonesome boy. I turned away, she did not know. Those tears were tears of joy. I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. She's on her way. She'll spend a week on every isle and stay. That's why I'm gay. So everybody come and give me cheers. She's going to be away for 20 years. 'Cause I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. Hooray! Just think when I get home tonight, there'll be no wifey there. And just across the table, I will see a vacant chair. I love my wife, I love my wife, I love her more each day. I love my wife, I love my wife, because she's far away. I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. She's on her way. She'll spend a week on every isle and stay. That's why I'm gay. Tonight when I go home at 10:30, I'll turn around and walk right out again. 'Cause I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. Hooray! I'm going to take the rugs up, I won't need them anymore. And buy some new dance records, then get down and wax the floor. I'll fill the ice chest full of things, then phone the boys and say, come up and bring the girls, my home is now a cabaret. I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. She's on her way. She'll spend a week on every isle and stay. That's why I'm gay. And if the tenants start to raise a shout, I'll buy the house and put the tenants out. 'Cause I sent my wife to the Thousand Isles today. Hooray!
I am a mammy's only son. I speak my language with my tongue. I'm slippery mold and slippery heel. I never worked, I never will.
Why, hello, Mose. What makes you so happy today, Ham?
Why, today Jimmy Trigger's returning home from the Mexican War.
Is this the same Jimmy Trigger that went away with all them soldiers?
The same Jimmy Trigger. And the pipe and drum corps has gone down to the depot to escort him up here. Yeah, they come now. Oh, hello, Jimmy. Do you recognize me?
Hello, Mose. Of course I recognize you.
Welcome to our town.
I'm here. Hey, boys, you can all go now, and I'll meet you down to the armory. I've got to talk to my old friend Mose. Hold tight right, pause.
Hey, Mose, you must have some awful trouble down in Mexico.
Oh, indeed, I have some awful experiences down yonder.
You ever do any guard duty?
Of course I done guard duty.
Supposing you was doing guard duty at night and two Mexicans were to approach your post, what would you do?
I'd shoot them.
Supposing four Mexicans were to approach your post, what would you do?
I'd shoot them, too.
Supposing 100 Mexicans were to approach your post, then what would you do?
I lay down my rifle and form a line.
What kind of a line could you form by yourself?
A beeline for camp. Lord, Lord.
Jimmy, what means general?
Why, politics. What is a furlough? A furlough is a leave of absence granted to weak-kneed officers.
Certainly am a soldier.
Yes, one day the general said, Jimmy, we're short of fresh meat. Said, take your gun and go over yonder and see if you can't put some back. I took my rifle, I went over the hills, and I walked back about a mile. I come across 6 great big grizzly bears. And they were playing with the cubs.
Little baby bear.
And them bears looked up at me, and I looked at them. I laid down my gun, and then I started to run.
So would I.
Oh, we were flying. I could feel their hot breath against the bosom of my pants. And we're coming so fast that we got to the camp. Oh, the soldier said, here comes Jimmy. I said, clear the way and separate, where I'm forcing them into camp alive.
Jimmy, you are a bear hunter.
It is.
But Jimmy, you remember when I was in the Navy?
Indeed, I does.
One day we got orders from Washington to take a great big 6-mast schooner down to Key West. We sailed along one day very nice. All of a sudden, the captain spied a great big black cloud. We sailed underneath this cloud. What do you expect it was?
I don't know, what was it?
Why, it was a flock of mosquitoes. Millions and billions of them. They lived on our ship and stripped us of every inch of canvas and every bit of tar rope we had on that ship. They just cleaned us clean.
I seen that same cloud of mosquitoes down in Veracruz.
How do you know they were the same mosquitoes?
They had tar rope suspenders and canvas overalls on. Well, goodbye, Mose. I must go on down to the army.
Goodbye, Jimmy. I'll see you again sometime.
Goodbye.
tell you they can play in such a funny meter that your feet are gonna make your body sway. I heard them down in New Orleans. They play a rag called pork and beans. Say you can't get enough of that raggy stuff, although I don't know what it means. Everybody loves a jazz band. Everybody loves a jazz band. They play a classy tune. You will croon. They make you think of Alabama. And when you hear the love and slide moan on the ever loving trombone, you'll get right on your feet and holler out repeat, 'cause the jazz band can be beat. Clarinet, and there's a man that plays cornet in such a funny manner. The piano has to show a lot of pep. In every big town cabaret, they find a place where they can play. And if you will take a chance, you will want to dance right through the night till break of day. Everybody loves a jazz band. Everybody loves a jazz band. They play a classy tune. You will croon. They make you think of Alabama. When you hear the love and pride moan on the ever-loving trombone, you'll get right on your feet and holler out repeat, 'cause the jazz band can be beat. Say, Mr. Piano Man, is that the jazz band they're all talking about? Take to the libraries and show me some more of it. Everybody loves a jazz band. They play a classy tune. You will croon. They make you think of Alabama. When you hear the love and slide moan on the ever-loving trombone, you'll get right on your feet and holler out repeat, 'cause the jazz band can be beat. Hot dog, you gotta go. Some jazz.
Hello, Jackson. My, but you're pale and thin. What's the trouble? You look as if you'd just come off a sick bed.
I just come out of the hospital.
No, you mean the hospital.
Yes, that's it.
Why, what is the trouble?
I had an operation formed on me.
What was the nature of the operation?
The doctor said I had a pin in the fetus.
Oh, you mean appendicitis?
Yes, I know he cited it anyhow.
Well, was the operation successful?
Oh, yes, but I had an awful time.
How was that?
Well, you see, the doctor, he cut me open, took out the situs, and then he sewed me up again. Now, he said, I'll be around tomorrow to see how you're coming along. So he come around the next morning, he was all excited. He says, I'm sorry, but while operating on you, I forgot to remove the sponge from the incision. So he cut me open again, took out the sponge, and then he sewed me up. Now he says, I know that you'll be all right tomorrow, but nevertheless I'll come around, see how you're making out. So he came around the next morning. He says, how do you feel? Oh, I says, very good, doctor. Well, he says, I'm awful sorry, but he said I left my operating scissors in the incision. So he cut me open again, took out the scissors, and he sewed me up. Now he says, I'm pretty sure you're all right, but I'll call around tomorrow and see how you're making out.
I see.
So he come around the next morning. He says, how do you feel this morning? I said, scandalous, doctor, scandalous. Oh, he says, I'm very, very sorry to disturb you again. But he says, while sewing you up last night, I forgot to remove the needle from the incision. So he cut me open, took out the needle, and was just trying to sew me up again. When I said, never mind, sew me up this time, doctor. Just put a button on it. Oh, there was a poor fella next to me. He was worse than I was. Why, they brought him in yonder in pieces. And when they got him all patched up, the doctor come in and looked at him and seen that he had but one eye. He called the nurse over. He said, how is it when this man come in here, he had two eyes. Now he's only got one. What's to come of his other eye? Oh, the nurse says, that's all right, doctor. The other eye is out on the veranda reading the morning paper. Well, I had a strange experience, too. I just come out of the hospital. What was the matter with you? Well, you see, I went to the Hibernian Ball a short time ago, and during the evening I made a mistake of my life. Well, how was that? Well, during the progress of the dance, there was a lot of Hibernians down to the corner of the hall. They were very noisy, all excited. So I walked down among them, and I hollered out 3 cheers for the APA. Wow, wow. And that's all I remember. When I was restored to consciousness, I was in the hospital, in a nice little bed, and there was a nurse bending over me and saying, swallow this. Oh, Lord. Oh, she was a lovely girl. Pink eyes, brown cheeks, yellow hair, and blue lips. Venus was a bale of hay compared to a beautiful figure. Oh, liberty. First she took my temperature, then she took my watch. Then she would come in the afternoon and remain at my bedside for hours and read chapters of American history out of the bartender's guide. Then she would bathe my fevered brow and crack nuts on my head with a hammer. Oh, never, never will I forget those delightful moments. At last I got well, and the morning I was leaving the hospital, I asked this girl to become my wife. Then she told me the whole truth. She said she was a rich man's daughter and only nursed the sick people just for the sake of doing it. Now she says that you know I'm worth millions. I'm sure you will not marry me, although I love you dearly. And just at that moment, yes, go on. I woke up. Yes, a good thing you didn't sleep forever.
why don't you get married and settle down? I told him I was going to get a job and settle up first. Yes, I tell you, if there was a man in hard luck, I'm that man. Hard luck and me walk hand in hand. Why, if diamonds grew on trees tomorrow morning, my rheumatism would get so bad tonight I couldn't climb the trees to get the diamonds. Just to show you what hard luck really is. Yeah, I hunted this town over one whole month trying to get a job, and I couldn't find work no place. I was walking along the river feeling kind of stuck the other day, and I heard somebody holler out, "Help! Help! I'm drowning! I can't swim." I said, "Neither can I, but you don't hear me bragging about it." He said, "Well, save me, save me." I was just going to save him, but on the second thought, I said, "I know what I'll do. I'll let that man drown. I know where he works. I'll go down and get his job." So I beat it down to the factory where the man was working. The boss said, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning, boss." He said, "What can I do for you this morning?" I said, "I just came down to get the man whose job was just found in the river." He said, "I'm sorry, kid, you're a little too late. I just give it to the man that pushed him in." Yes, sir. Well, we all might as well be happy anyway, because it don't make any difference. I'm going to tell you why I'm happy. All right, boss, tickle it. Some folks, they often ask me in a joking sort of way, I say, "Raptors, what makes you so happy all the live long day? Why we never see you worried, nor we never see you blue?" So now that I told them, well, I might as well tell you. I'm happy 'cause I'm living, and I'm happy 'cause I'm here. Just think all the colored folks that died last year. For instance, there's Pete Jackson. He was a bad man of the town until he stole Sam Jones's wife. Now Pete's beneath the ground. Then there's Lem Johnson, what stabbed Mandy with a knife. Lem, he won't be around for quite a while 'cause the judge done give him life. Yeah, they locked him up behind the bars and they threw the key away. Of course, it's plainly understood that Lem's in jail to stay. Then there's poor old Mose they strung up to a tree, and they filled him full of bullets down near Nashville, Tennessee. And along the old Mississippi, nearly every other night, why some darky kill another in an old-time razor fight. Or even in the broad daylight when the boat was loading fuel, why they'd quit work for an hour or so just to have a pistol duel. And when the town was full of smallpox and yellow fever too, why everyone was dying, but somehow I pulled through. Yeah, I fooled old Mr. Graveyard. Thank the Lord that I ain't dead. The police ain't looking for me, and there's no number on my bed. So when you see me laughing as you say you always do, and you never see me worried or you never see me blue, you just kind of add up all I've told you, 'cause it sure am mighty clear that I'm happy 'cause I'm living, and I'm happy 'cause I'm here. 'Course I ain't got no money, and my clothes ain't none too swell, but I'm eating pretty regular and I'm feeling powerful well. I'm healthy and I'm honest. No doctor needs to call. Well, I'm happy 'cause I'm happy. Just happy, that's all. Yep.
his eyes when he landed on the great white way. Soon he saw a pretty little maid. She heaved a gentle sigh. When she winked her pretty little lamp, well, he thought that he would die. With his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he said, how do you do? How are you? I'd like to meet your mother and your brother and your aunt. You're the sweetest piece that ever grew. First she stole his heart without much pain. Then she took away his watch and chain. With his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he gets a little wiser every day. Now young Johnny Jones won about 100 bones at poker and his heart was light. Said he, if wifey knows that I've got it in my clothes, I can kiss my $100 good night. But young Jones was quite a brainy man, no ivory neath his dome. He devised a cunning little plan so that night when he got home, with his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he crept into bed. Twice he said, get up and take your clothes off, John, you must be in a trance. He said nothing, only just straight dead. Poor John had to lay awake all night, but he saved his little roll all right. With his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he gets a little wiser every day. Now old Uncle Sam nearly got into a jam, some trouble down in Mexico. They started in to brag and they trampled on our flag, and they thought that Sam would let it go. But one morning they woke up with a start, they heard a Yankee band. There stood Sam, Lord of his little heart, just across the Rio Grande. With his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he said, LDU, here's a few. I've got a lot of others and they're aching for a chance. Gosh, they'd like to take a crack at you. Any nation thinks they've got him scared. They'll wake up and find that he's prepared. With his hands in his pockets and his pockets in his pants, he's got a little wiser